All right. Welcome. This is the Sharif Show, and this is the first episode of the Sharif Show. So I'm a little nervous. My guest is a little nervous, but we're going to get through it. And, man, we're going to give you some good content, some good information, and we're going to get to know today the beautiful, we're going to say that first, the beautiful, intelligent, well-rounded,
Okay.
this lady right here is amazing. Community activist, community leader, also counselor. And now we just found out she even has a 360 booth. So we'll get into that. But welcome, Miss Felicia Thomas.
Hi.
Hey,
How you
what's
doing?
going on? Good. It's good to see you. Always good to see you.
Look, it's good to be seen. That's what my grandmother used to say. It's good to be in the land of the living.
And you know them grandmamas, shoot. Wish mine was still here. Shoot, I tell you what, she always just keep me rolling. All right, so we just said your name was Miss Felicia Thomas. Where are you from, Miss Felicia?
I am from Casey, South Carolina. I grew up in the military. My grandmother and grandfather was originally from Swansea, South Carolina.
Swansea.
So once my mom got out of the military, she came back to South Carolina and settled back in Casey, literally right back with where my grandmother and my grandfather was at.
So you're an MK, like a preacher's kid, PK. You're an MK.
Yeah, military
kid. That's
both
what's
mother
up.
and father.
Right. Yeah, I lived in Swansea for 9 years. I got an experience. How was your experience of growing up in Swansea? Did you go to Swansea High School?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay.
No, I went to Brooklyn Casey and Airport High School. I am a BC alumni.
Okay, BC.
Bearcats, let's go.
Man, they got a nice stadium out there. If y'all don't know what BC is on, Not Savage Road, right?
Knox Savage Drive.
Not Savage Drive.
Knox Savage Drive and State Street.
Not Savage Drive, and I went to. I got to spend a little time in that area because I got in trouble. I went to Willow Gray back before it was a military school, so we was up there at the airport. They used to take us in the little van up Not Savage Drive, and I actually worked at that Captain D's for a little while right there.
I worked at Captain D's too when I was in high school. Yes, I was what it was, the front counter manager.
Oh, I didn't make it that far. I was just cashier. Drive through. I remember my pay, $4.50 an hour.
Ooh, that was nothing.
$4.50 an hour. My checks used to be like $125 a week.
I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do nothing but get a hotel at the Masters Inn, a bottle of ENJ and a bag of weed.
Did you say the Masters Inn?
The Masters Inn.
Ooh, baby. Ain't nobody want to be caught there now.
It wasn't as bad. It wasn't all cracked out like that back in the day.
Well, you don't tell nobody you was ever at the Masters Inn because, whew.
I was, 16, 17 years old? And, 17. Once you turn 17, you could sign yourself out for the weekend. So that's all we could afford. 25. I think the nicer room was like $25.99.
Look, I couldn't even imagine what the nicest rooms used to look like. If the outside looked like what it looked like now.
What? So military. So you were in the military also, right?
Yes, I'm retired military. I did 13 and a half years, Army. Yeah,
Okay.
13 and a half years. I started off here in South Carolina National Guard. Once I left the South Carolina National Guard, I went active duty. And my first active duty station was in El Paso, Texas.
Okay. Did you say El Paso, Texas?
El Paso, Texas. I call it
Texas.
Little Mexico because literally you can see Mexico. You can be on I-10 and look over.
Right.
Mexico is on one side. Texas is on the other.
Yeah, my little cousin is in Texas right now. She got into the military late in life, probably about like right at 30. So when did you join? Right out of high school?
No, I actually joined the military. I was 26 years old. I had already had my 3 kids and everything. Mm-hmm. And I had to make some life-changing decisions and stuff for them because out here in the corporate world, it was very hard taking care of them. You know, I wasn't always where I'm at right now. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, military then, military now, what is the difference? Because I'm pretty sure you still keep up with everybody and everything?
I keep up with some. The military, well, let me say the Army that I know has changed a lot, even with their PT tests and their standards as far as in soldiers getting higher rank and everything, getting promoted. So that stuff has changed a lot. I don't have a bad taste about military because I do have a son that's in the military.
Right. He in the Navy?
He is in the Navy.
I thought he
Yes,
was in the
right
Navy.
now
Okay.
he's stationed in Italy. So now I have another place to go visit.
Is that like Paris or is that like somewhere else in Italy?
He's actually in Sigonella, Italy.
And is that like close to like what we know? Because all we know is Paris.
Close but not close.
Not,
Let me
not
say
that.
that.
Close, okay.
So
What's
he's
the other
still he's still got a ways to travel to go
Right.
to see that stuff.
Well, cool. Yeah, I saw some of y'all like when he left and when he came back for break and how emotional it was and everything like that. And you are a military kid and have been in the military. It's still emotional, huh?
It is because, regardless of how old your kids get, they're still your babies.
Still your kids.
And he left at the age of 18 and got stationed overseas.
Right.
So, I still monitor their bank accounts because, I'm that mom. I got to stay on them.
All right.
So I was monitoring his account and I'm like, why did $820 get taken out? This is too much money at one time.
Getting tattoos?
No.
Okay.
I said, when I talk to him tomorrow, I'm going to see what's going on. So all of a sudden, I go home. I go out on a date, me and my boo thing. And we come home. And lo and behold, he walks around the corner. And I said, what are you doing here?
Uh-oh.
He told me, see, I ain't want to tell you. I said, yeah, I saw your GPS location off too. And I saw the money being taken out of your account.
He just
I
came to
say,
surprise you, huh?
Yeah, I say, so I'm not even mad. I was happy. I was very happy to see him. I hate that, he wasn't able to come back for his younger brother graduation, but we did get to see him because we didn't think it was going. We thought it was going to be almost a year before we did get to see him again.
Right, that's cool. All the kids at the house now?
Ooh, yes. I dropped the last one off August the 16th at USC Upstate.
Okay, yeah, Spartanburg. Shout out to USC Upstate. My daughter got accepted there. Was gonna go, and then we found out that she was pregnant with my grandson, and so we had to reroute her to Coastal, but so she could be closer to a support system. But I'm really impressed with USC Upstate. That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Yeah, he's going to be going into the nursing program at USC Upstate.
And that's what she was doing.
Very proud of him for doing that. So, and those are choices that he made on his own.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. Well, I'm happy that all the kids are out the house. Everybody's doing good. Nobody's in trouble.
No. I can honestly say I was blessed with 3 awesome young men. I tell people all the time, I just said it earlier today at work, I had some of the best kids ever. God knew what he was doing when he blessed me with those 3.
What? And all these kids bad now.
Not mine.
Yeah, my girls gave me a little bit of trouble, but yeah, my sons are good too, so it might be this boy thing.
Must be, because I got 3 boys and I love it. I loved it.
Right. So, speaking of, parenthood and everything, I know that you have adopted some kids.
Yes.
Tell us about that. How is that? You don't have to go into detail of how you got them, but how's adoption for the people that may not be out there that may not be able to have kids or want more kids and can't have them, maybe got older and want to be foster parents or anything like that. So how's that?
It's now, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing at all for those who can't have. You do what you have to do, and there's a place for every child. I will say that.
Right.
I did get custody of my 3 nieces and 1 nephew, and I was able to, my oldest niece, she was able to graduate high school. It was a struggle.
Right.
Because when they came in, their situation was not the best situation. And it was hard.
Right.
Because I was, as I stated, I had some of the best kids ever.
Right.
Bringing
So,
other kids into the household.
bringing someone else's kids in there.
Yeah, you blood related, but you're not mine. They was
Right.
not raised the same. And I had to take that in account. And it was very hard because not only were they in a bad situation, they also had other mental issues and stuff that went on with that. You
Right.
know, I had a nephew who had ODD, order defiant disorder, and he would get into trouble a lot in school. Very smart kid, good child, but it's just when he got
The
back with
behavior
his
problem.
mother, the behavior problem came back when he started back talking with his mom. Anytime he talked with his mom,
He'll flip out.
he flipped out.
Man,
So,
I had that same experience. My sister, the one that you met, Prime Tech, my sister just met. She took in another one of my sister's kids, and then they wound up coming to stay with me. And you know, I have him tight, but then you know, but I think what that is like it's not the mother, but I think like. Cause you know I experienced that as like a weekend father too. Like when you do see them, you're not tough on them. You know what I mean? You letting them do what they want to do, say what they
Yes.
want to say, have fun. You're taking them everywhere, and then they got to come back to structure. You know what I mean? And it's kind of difficult to deal with it as well as just being away from someone that had you. You know?
yeah, because Auntie was running that house like they was in boot camp.
Oh,
And,
yeah,
you
I
know,
can
it's
imagine.
been plenty of times I went up in that room, and if the room wasn't clean, I turned mattresses upside down. I started
What?
throwing stuff. Hey, if y'all can't clean up, I ain't gonna clean up either. I'm getting ready to tear this room up, and then I turn around and make them clean it right back up.
Right. I understand. I'm the same kind of parent. Would you do it again?
I wouldn't, because at this point in time, my last one has graduated. Now, if God told me to get this child, I would. However, the way I'm feeling at the moment, I wouldn't do it again. Because my last child has graduated high school and is off to college. And I feel like now it's time for me to live my life and think about myself and set those boundaries and do the things that I want to do, because for so many years I've put my life on hold for others.
Right. Okay. I understand that. You know, I can definitely relate to that.
Yes.
All right. So before we go to commercial break, even though we don't have any sponsors, I'm the sponsor. ShoeDemon.com, who is my business, ShoeDemon.com is sponsoring this. It's what pays the bills. Shoe store, we trade, buy, and sell shoes online. By the way, so we just talked about you were from Casey via Swansea, but let's talk about Casey, because it's interesting that you're from Casey.
Yes.
Casey is probably, for the people out there that don't know where Casey is in Lexington County. It's right next to West Columbia, and it's only separated by a bridge into Columbia. So what is the big distance between Casey and Columbia, South Carolina? For it to be separated by a small bridge that probably takes, it's not like it's a Charleston bridge.
Literally two bridges.
It's literally probably a bridge that takes 1 minute to get over.
That's
What
correct.
is the distance between Columbia and Casey? And we want to know that perspective. I'll give you the Columbia perspective, and you give me the Casey perspective.
Well, one of the things that growing up in Casey, you know, when we came back, growing up in Casey, you know, when you go to Columbia, oh, you're going to a big city. Because so many people from the Casey, West Columbia area comes from the country, Swansea, Gaston, you know, Happy Town,
Right.
down there, and they migrate. That's the close part. So for
Happy
them,
Town.
that's the city.
Right.
Casey, West Columbia was the city coming from out of the country. So now that you're in Casey, West Columbia, when it goes to mingle with the people from Columbia, when I was growing up, it was like, oh, you country. You from the
Right.
country. I'm like, no, I'm from across the bridge.
Right.
I'm not that far. But it was always a battle. Oh, the Columbia people think they better
Right.
than the Casey people.
Right.
Or the other stigma that used to come about is, how you stay over there in that racist place? I'm not
Okay.
going over there. And that was continuous. Did we deal with racism and stuff over there growing up? I did.
Right.
I got called all kind of names by, you know, older folks of a different complexion.
Right.
And, you know, not saying that it's right, but once you over there, it's almost like you adjust.
You're just okay. Was it so you were saying like, so okay. So I'm from Columbia, but then my mother married, and I lived in a small town, Conway. That's kind of like what Casey is to Columbia, Conway is to Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
So a lot of times, Myrtle Beach people treated Conway people different. But when you went over to Myrtle Beach, it was all about the money. You know what I mean? Like where everybody had work. You know what I mean? It wasn't bad, but Conway was really, 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 really racist. You know what I mean? Like really racist. So you know what I mean? So it's different and everything like that. So I get that, but I mean, we were 20 minutes from each other. Like I've never seen like when I was growing up in Columbia, I'd never heard of Casey. But when I came back, you know what I mean? Like, well, I did like in my teenage days here at Casey because I worked there on Knott's Abbott. But even then, you know what I mean? The people that worked there that was from Casey and West, they were just real standoffish about Columbia. Like, if I say something like, "Oh, my grandma picking me up and she's gonna take me to her house," and where does she live at? And this is when the mall was popular. Columbia Mall, that's right up the street, was real popular. I said, well, I'm going to, she's going to take me to the mall. I got to get clothes and stuff like that. And they were like, Columbia Mall? And they were like, oh, no, we don't go over there. You know what I mean? So I got kind of it, but when I got older, then it was like, man, and y'all had Shank G. Is a rapper, Lord Shank G, and I think he was from that area or whatever. And he wouldn't like do shows in Columbia, but we really loved him. We had to go over to like Casey, West Columbia to see him like do little shows and bars and stuff like that and stuff. And I just could never figure out like, dang, it's just so close, like, but it is so different though.
Look, but believe it or not, I tell you the truth. You say with Casey, West Columbia, how they feel about Columbia. You can't tell somebody from West Columbia, oh, Casey, West Columbia is the same.
Okay, you
because
can't.
it's a battle. No, we two.
Okay.
You from West Columbia, I'm from Casey.
Right.
And it's literally like we feel like it's a difference, just like the people come from the country.
Right.
You from the country, I'm from Casey. You from West Columbia. So it's
right.
You can't tell somebody who's from West Columbia, oh, you all of us the same. No. And the crazy part is Casey, West Columbia is divided by a street. Knott's Abbott Drive.
By Knott's Abbott
Krispy
Drive,
Kreme.
right.
You cross one over be at Krispy Kreme, you're in West Columbia. You cross across the street, you're in Casey.
So if I'm at Krispy Kreme on Knott's Abbott, I'm in West Columbia?
You're in West Columbia.
No, I always thought I was in Casey.
You're in West Columbia.
Man, we getting some education right now, boy. We getting some education right now. Because, I mean, we really have the unofficial but should be official mayor of Casey. Like, you know, why haven't you ran? We want to know, at least city council. You think because you're a little darker, you can't win?
No, I didn't say that because believe it or not, the district that I stay in, District 2 over in Casey, we have a black city council leader and the city council leader that has been the city council leader for 30 years over there. He just recently lost Skip Jenkins. Good councilman. But he lost to a younger gentleman. They trying to bring the newer generation and stuff in.
Always trying to usher the old folks out, eh?
No, I mean, sometimes change is good. However, you just got to know what you're getting.
Right.
But we do have a new council leader, Byron Thomas.
Okay.
Byron Thomas.
All right. Shout out to Byron Thomas.
He's the new city council leader for District 2 over there, and that's my area. And he's been told numerous of times when he's been introduced to me, this is who we wanted to be our city council leader. And he just like, oh, my bad. I've heard so much about you, but I'm pleased to meet you, and it's okay. And it's not that I didn't want to run, but it's just I like doing things, but I like being in the background.
In the background, okay.
You know, not saying one day I want, step out on that faith and really do it, but I like doing things in the background. I don't do things, within my community, to get my name exposed or to get recognition and stuff. Even a lot of things and stuff that I do in the community, I either raise the money, I ask sponsors and stuff on Facebook, some of my Facebook friends or my motorcycle friends. Look, I go on Facebook begging, or I get the money out of my pocket and I pay for it myself. Right. So.
And I was going to ask you that. I was like, you do a lot of community stuff and great deal. Great things in the community. Excuse me. I was wondering that. Do you have like a nonprofit? But you just said that. I mean, you answered my question for me. You just said a lot of it just come off of you. I wouldn't call it begging. I would call it. What would you call it? Fundraising.
Yeah, I just that's my little funny post I always make whenever I go on Facebook asking. I say, it's y'all little begging friend again.
Right.
I have this going on. This is what I have. If I have a family that I need to help, or my Christmas event, I'm part of Black Girls Beauty. I'm the president for the Columbia chapter here. So we have. We always do an event Christmas time, and we give out toys to a number of families. Been doing it for the past 6 years. We have the back to school bash that's going to be happening.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
The 26th of July is
26th
our next
of July.
one.
Let's highlight that for a second. On the 26th of July, we're doing. I said we're. I'm going to donate.
Hey,
but
okay. We accept.
You and your people are doing a back to school bash on the 26th of July. Where?
So it's going to be at Mount Zion Baptist Church over in Casey. I don't know the exact address, but it's put on by Casey Police Department, Mount Zion Baptist Church, Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, Lexington County Recreation Commission, Spires Recreation, K&L Entertainment, and A Piece of New Beginning Community Outreach.
Cool. So no political stuff right now, but do you vote?
I do. Not only do I vote, when it's time to vote, I ride around my community and I pick up people from the stores and I ask them if they vote, and if they don't have a car to go vote, I take them to the polls. I am a firm believer in voting. I think it's very imperative that people do go out and vote.
And you know who you are? You are a modern day Harriet Tubman. Like what she just said, Harriet took people through the Underground Railroad. You go pick them up and go vote, because if you don't go vote, you could be in slavery again, and not physically, but financially, in a lot of other ways too. You know what I mean? Your health is your wealth, and we just had our previous president. Y'all talk about Joe Biden, and I don't think Joe Biden runs the country. I think he's just the white face that gets us through. I actually think Kamala Harris runs the country, and I know a lot of people.
A lot of bias on that.
A lot of people may say, "Hey, she doesn't do nothing," but I think that's the plan, to keep her in the background running the country, and don't want nobody to know she's running the country. But I think she runs the country, and the people that's around them run the country, and Joe Biden is just the face that's going to get them past get them past Trump. But
that and local elections.
Local
Local
elections,
elections are the key.
right.
A lot of people feel as though these small elections within their towns is nothing. Oh no, I'm not going to vote. No, you need to go vote because without these local elections, those big elections make a difference.
Right. And a lot of people just like discouraged about South Carolina because they never seen a Democrat candidate win the nomination. Even as popular as Barack Obama was, he didn't win South Carolina. So a lot of people say, well, you know, when it comes to the presidential race, it doesn't matter. But it does matter. And the reason why it matters is because whoever's the president is pretty much can control what happens in the Senate in the next couple years if they are able to get their agendas through. And then the Senate races kind of trickle down to the governors, the mayors, the city councilmen, and all of that good stuff. And,
Yes.
So you're saying go vote.
Go vote.
Okay.
Go vote. If you need a ride, I'll come take you. Message me on Facebook, Felicia T. Thomas on Facebook. Message me. I will come take you to go vote. If you're not registered, get registered now to go vote. And if you feel like you registered, one of the things that I did find out when I was taking people to go vote for our local elections over there in Casey, I found out that a lot of voters were registering at the DMVs and the DSS offices and stuff. That paperwork was not turned in.
Oh, wow.
So that was a big problem when it came down for elections in our areas. So some of the people that won, they should not have won, only because I know of 4 people in particular that was not able to vote for city council people only because their addresses were stating that they were located somewhere else in another district. So the only thing that they were able to vote on was for mayor. So they wasn't able to vote on for a city council leader within their district that they really lived in. My mom being one of them. And I know my mom registered to vote because I did the paperwork for her to vote. However, she's ready now. Also, all of my 2 sons that's still, at the house, I made sure that they were registered to vote. But that's a very big thing. So now that the presidential election and stuff is coming up, I really, really will say right now, go ahead and go on the voter registration website, put your information in, and see if you're registered. If it pops up that they cannot find you, then that means you're not registered. So those papers that you did at the DMV and the DSS office or the DHEC office, that information wasn't turned in.
Wow, that's important, man. I appreciate that information because a lot of people don't know that. Because I was living in Lexington and still had to go to Richland to vote for 2 years, and I was in Lexington just because of misinformation and not being educated on that. So we're pro vote here. Our ancestors fought real hard for us to vote, so you should get your lazy ass up and go vote. I don't care who you vote for; that's your choice. I want you to vote one way, but I'm not going to talk about that. So let's lighten it up a little bit.
All right.
Let's lighten it up. Casey. All right. So we already know. Look, I did want to ask you one more question. I missed it.
Okay. I'm listening.
And it's kind of political too because you have to vote for the sheriff there, right? You have to everybody in Casey votes for the Lexington County Sheriff, right?
Yes.
So what do y'all feel in the community? Because I know you're deep in the community and you're around that area that gets a lot of police activity. So what do you feel about Sheriff Coon?
I plead the fifth.
You plead the fifth?
Yeah.
Now I want to answer that one. Okay. All right, now we're going to go. All right, so I know you're a big R&B fan. What's the state of R&B right now?
You said what's the state of R&B?
What's the state of R&B? Like, is R&B alive or is it dead?
R&B is not dead. R&B will never be dead. You see all these babies running around here?
Right, but are any of these new artists helping make the babies? Or are we still...
I don't know about the new ones because... that old playlist,
The old playlist.
that Love, Light, and Flight
Right.
playlist
I
on
know that.
YouTube Music,
Right.
Volume 11.
She said volume 11. She got the volume. So no new artists. You're not into any new artists?
I'm not in. So, Coco Jones is good. Tim's, I love Tim's.
Good Tim's.
That's going more on the Caribbean side, but still,
Right.
the relaxed side.
Sounds good though. Right.
But
They like
I'm an India.Arie fan, a Jill Scott fan.
Right.
A lot of more on the neo soul.
Neo Soul. Have you heard the girl that's winning the awards, Tyler? Like she's
What
like
she say?
she got some water. I can't sing it now.
Make me sweat.
Yeah, that
Make me-
one. Well, how do you feel about like that? Well, let me rephrase that. Like a lot of the R&B now is coming from Africa. How you feel about
I
that?
love it.
You like that sound?
I love that sound.
Right.
But I think the biggest thing with music, not just R&B, but any music, people listen to the beat and say, "Oh, I like that song," but do you really listen to the words?
To the lyrics.
And I say that only because, what's the song? The girl, I look better under you. I can't. Have you ever listened to the words that she say? She basically admitting to a murder.
Who? Well,
And
wait
that
a minute.
she
Hold on,
did
no.
it. She said she did it and everything. And I'm sitting here like, just because she's singing it slow, that don't
What
make it
song
no
is that
better.
again? I gotta listen to that.
Oh, it said, I can't lose
Oh,
when I'm with you.
SZA.
I don't think, is that her?
Isn't that Snooze?
Yes.
Snooze. Okay, yeah, that's SZA. Yeah.
Yeah, listen to the words.
Okay, I gotta go back and listen to that because that's
'cause
my
you-
jam. I never heard that.
Oh, that's your, see?
That's my
what I'm
jam.
saying. Because people sitting there, oh, yeah, that's it right there.
Well, I never knew what was Bougie by Time was saying murder gay people in one of his songs. I didn't know that.
You
So,
have
yeah.
to really listen to the words because I feel like with R&B, it's something that touch your soul. Like
Right.
it's something that resonates. And even the music and stuff like back in the day that our parents and used to listen to. You go back and listen to some of that stuff, you be like, "Oh, they was nasty."
Yeah.
But that was good music.
You know who's a great lyricist that sings R&B? That's just not never heard her rap before, but I look at her like, oh, okay, she could rap if she wanted to. Summer
Who?
Walker. Are you into Summer Walker?
No, I can't say I am or I can't say I'm not.
Summer Walker flows.
Okay.
Like she really be spitting, and she write her own shit and stuff like that.
I'm gonna have to go listen to Summer Walker. Okay, Summer, I'm gonna be listening.
So who's your favorite? So we know you like India.Arie and Jill Scott. Who's your favorite male R&B singer?
My favorite man, Avant.
Avant, come on now.
I love Avant.
Come on now, Avant dope now. Come on now. You know you want to say R. Kelly. You ain't got to be politically
No,
correct.
no, don't get me wrong now. Look,
Why
R,
y'all trying to exclude R. Kelly?
R, he made some good music. However,
Right.
I can't get down with what you did because at
Right.
the end of the day, I'm still a female.
So when you hear that
And-
music now, you thinking, man, could have been my daughter. Something like
No, not at all. Because at the end of the day, you can't change the good stuff that he's done. Everything he's done wasn't bad.
Right.
It's a whole bunch of skeletons in people's closets and stuff around here.
that. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you can't knock what he's done. I would never take away, the good music and stuff that I grew up on.
Right. And I'm no way am I condoning what R. Kelly did. A lot of our grandparents, a lot of our granddaddies caught our grandmamas kind of young. I know my granddaddy caught my grandma young, like he'd have been locked up under the jail. But,
Not only that, Uncle Joe ain't the same either. So
yeah. So there's a lot of skeletons in the black community that Tyler Perry tries to bring out.
Look, that's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother episode.
Oh, he bring out all the black skeletons and stuff in these movies.
Right.
He done calmed down a little bit, but boy, back when he first came out, boy, he was on it, ain't it? But so let's talk about your recreation. We've talked about your love, your love for R&B. We've talked about community, being a community activist. We've talked about Casey, where you from. Let's talk about what you like to do. What do you do to have fun, to relax?
For me to relax, my relaxed time is me getting on my motorcycle and going down a country road, riding long distance, just getting on. Like, that's my stress reliever. That's my therapy.
The motorcycle. I see you with the black helmet with the diamonds and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm extra. I like my bling now.
Showing out. Do you have one of those loud radios that be riding out?
It's not loud, but soon. I have some stuff in the making.
I heard that.
I have some stuff in the making. I got me a little speaker on there.
Yeah.
I can hear it if I'm going 100 on the highway.
Right.
So it's loud enough.
So you're in a bike club? You're in a bike club?
I am in Rare Juice Augusta chapter.
Okay.
Our mother chapter is in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. And y'all wear what, black and yellow?
Black and yellow.
Okay, cool.
We are rare for a reason. That's our motto.
I know that's right. Y'all look good. So is there, so it's a lot of misconceptions about bike clubs. So let's clear it up.
Okay.
So when I think about, not when I think about bike clubs, because I know what African American bike clubs are, but when I thought about like white bike clubs back in the day and everything, I thought about like a gang, Hells Angels, even the Ku Klux Klan, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? They some of the original bikers and stuff like that, like skinheads and things like that. And then when I think about the black bike clubs, I think of more like fraternities like Kappa and Q-Dogs and AKAs and Deltas and things like that. So, I mean, what is the, So what goes on? Well, you may can tell us this. This may be a secret society, but what is the making of a bike club? How do you join the bike club? So I seen some bike clubs where the girls wear all pink and they all pretty, and you know what I mean. Then I seen some bike clubs where we got the big mamas. I love the big mamas. You know what I mean?
Those the social clubs.
So like different, like it's different bike clubs.
Those the social clubs.
Yeah, it's just different. Like I see like different makeup. So like you know what I mean. So, like, how do you join a bike club, or where do you look for to find a bike club? If you were interested in, you have a bike and you're interested in joining something, tell us a little bit about that.
So, with the bike community, if someone wanted to join a certain MC, they do have different criteria and stuff. They have a hang around period, a prospecting period. Mm-hmm. So, if they see one, not all MCs fit one person, or you may not fit that one MC. I would say do your research on that MC before you get involved, because you can end up getting yourself involved into something that you don't like.
Right.
That happens often.
Right.
But you can find them on Facebook. The local areas have anniversary parties. If you see someone with a motorcycle vest and stuff on, you're interested, talk with them, ask them. Mm-hmm. You can go hang around them, see how they roll. They can get a feel for you, see how you roll, and, go from there. The different bike clubs, you have the male clubs, you have the female clubs. Mm-hmm. My club in particular, you have to have a 1,500cc bike, a cruiser.
So you have to have
to ride with us. We have, those are the criteria. Is that a
bigger bike?
It's a bigger bike.
Bigger bike, okay.
It's a big boy bike. You got to have a big boy bike to ride with us.
Right, okay.
Not a Harley. However,
doesn't have to be a Harley.
It has to be 1,500 cc's or better.
Are all Harleys 1,500 cc's or better?
No.
Not all of them. Okay.
No.
Do they
have some baby Harleys?
They have some baby Harleys. So they make like what was the bike that when we grew up everybody wanted? Kawasaki. What was that? Is it Saki? Not Saki.
Ninja.
Ninja, the Ninja.
See,
yeah.
that's a sports bike.
Sports bike, but I mean, I'm saying, does Harley make a sports bike? Or?
So they don't make a sports bike. They have one that the V-Rod has a lot of speed like a sports bike.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong, because these cruisers out here, you have some cruisers that got 121 motors and stuff now. I want to say the highest motor now is 121 for Harley Davidson.
Okay.
And that's pretty fast. I have
That's
a
a pretty
114. Yeah.
Okay. So you can go fast, but you
Yeah.
just like cruising.
I go fast at times. It depends. Depends on the situation.
I know that's right. So is Bike Week dead?
Bike Week is not dead, but I feel like Bike Week would never be dead. Bike Week is what you make it.
Right.
You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not going to the area."
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I got to cut y'all. Myrtle Beach Bike Week.
Myrtle Beach Bike
Myrtle
Week. is
Beach Bike Week. I'm
Black
sorry.
Bike Week. Let me say that.
AKA Black Bike Week, because it didn't
Yes.
always start like that.
Yes.
But Black Bike Week.
Black Bike Week.
Okay. Is
as-
that dead?
It's not. I was there this year. I've been going for the past 12, 13 years. Even when I was stationed in different places, I would fly back home. I started off in a club out of Baltimore, Maryland, and we would fly there and drive down to South Carolina for
Right.
Black Bike Week. But it's not dead. This year, the only thing that's bad with that is now, because the original Black Bike Week per se started in Atlantic Beach.
Right.
Now they're starting to carry over the barriers and stuff now to Atlantic Beach, and that's been a turnoff this year, because now they're migrating from Myrtle to Atlantic Beach, and it's just like, why y'all coming up here now bothering us?
Oh, so they left, and then just kind of, it was a different crowd in Atlantic Beach. More chill,
Well,
older crowd.
It's more of the police.
Okay.
So before, it wasn't as many police officers in the Atlantic Beach side now, or the North Myrtle Beach side. Now it's a lot. They're starting to close things down. You know, when they
Right.
feel like they can't do crowd control, they start barricading stuff off, and you can't get in.
Right.
One of the places to hang out at is Hooters. Hooters got the big old parking lot. You have the mall and stuff that's right there. So everybody congregate and stuff right over there. But at a certain time, when they feel like they can't have control, they'll block the entryway off, and you can't even get in. And that happened a few times that we were down there this year. Some people was upset and stuff about it, but it's what you make it. You have some people that have the cookouts and the parties and stuff at their house. You have Black Tigers that have their all white party, which is big. It sells out within a week of them posting it.
Right.
So it's stuff to still do at Black Bike Week.
Okay.
I use it as a relaxation time too.
Right. You ain't out there. You ain't out there wilding or nothing like that.
No, those days is behind me.
I got you. So, bikes. I want to ask you another question about bikes. Are they easier to get financed than cars? If that was something that I wanted to buy, you know what I mean? Does my credit have to be like A1, or, you know what I mean? And also, is it hard to get insured?
It's not hard to get insured, but a bike payment can be the same as a car payment.
Wow.
Believe it or not, you do have some Harleys that the bike payment on that is $520, $540. You have some that pay $800 for their Harley a month, along with insurance. Insurance can run you from, depending on how old you is or who your insurance is
Right.
in, who name is in, can run you from $35 a month to $340 something a month.
Wow.
So it's all depending. I mean, for me, I'm gonna tell you, my insurance is high. I pay $250 just for motorcycle insurance.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be buying a bike. I need to get.
And don't get me wrong. So it's all so. One of the things that you do have to take in consideration when it comes down to insurance on motorcycles is the type of bike. So depending on the type of bike, so My 250 is just on my Harley. On my Honda, which is a 750, it's still a cruiser. That's only $64.
Oh, that ain't bad. That ain't bad.
So you look at it,
I need to
paying
get a
for,
Honda.
It's a certain CC.
Right.
Let me say that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've rode a bike before, but I was so young, and I kind of just didn't get back and got in the car so deep. You know what I mean? I just never went back to it. But you know what I'm interested in? What they call the one with the old men be driving with the 3 wheels.
The trike.
The what now?
The trike.
I like that, but the other one. You know what I'm talking about?
The Can-Am.
No, I like a Can-Am too. I actually drove a Can-Am for a
The
whole
slingshot.
weekend. The slingshot, yeah. I'm thinking about a slingshot.
Oh, those are expensive.
Those expensive? I thought they would have calmed down by now.
No. You go and you get that, like, because they ask you to put everything together and stuff. Like, those can really get expensive, the same like a car.
Like if I want the one with the lights under and everything,
Oh, you
and the
talking
wheels.
about some money. You got it, though.
Nah.
You got it.
I
Big
wish.
time.
Hey, I don't have no money. I got them little girls watching this now. So, okay, speaking of this, let's talk about money. That's perfect. You hit it right on the. So we're gonna look into the slingshot, but let's talk about money.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell you about a dope experience that I had with you. You know what I mean? And so like if I ever had to, your retirement dinner, this will be my story. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like if I had to get up and speak at your retirement dinner. So I'm not a street dude. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the streets. Like I grew up on Knife Ave, corner Live Oak, between Cherry Hill Apartments, which is a project, and Huckabee Heights, which is a project. My whole family lived on the same street. So, country living or whatever, but most of us was poor. Some of us had money, that kind of stuff. My mom was Section 8 until I was, 10, 11 years old and things like that. From the streets, you know what I'm saying? But don't think what they say street is, you know what I'm saying? Not what we say street is, because street could mean a whole lot of different things. So we don't want to categorize ghetto as this or like, because South Carolina don't even really know what a ghetto is. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
like even when even when, you know what I'm saying, I had an auntie that lived in Allen Benedict Court, and they were saying, this is the ghetto, this is not the ghetto. Like you know what I'm saying? There's some places out here in the world that's really, 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 really the ghetto. But, you know what I'm saying, I don't dress up. I've never, even when like my mom was religious, you know what I'm saying, even when I was that, it was like some kind of collar shirt and blue jeans or whatever, you know what I mean? But I never dressed up, you know what I'm saying? It's only been a few times that I've ever dressed up, and I can count that on one hand. And I've turned 47 this past Monday, and I've probably been dressed up 5 times in my life, right?
Okay.
So you invited me to a formal. Is that what you call a formal?
It was, I did a care.
Okay. And what was that for? What was that for? Like y'all were doing a fundraiser for what?
So I work for Lisa's Care Connection.
Right.
We're a nonprofit organization where we give support to caregivers who are caregiving for loved ones with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's.
Right. Okay.
So we do a fundraiser every November.
Okay.
To raise money for the organization, so we can stay having our lights on and everything, and still provide these services to those caregivers. All the services that we do provide there is free. They eat. We have people that come in, cater food. We have art activities. We have different support groups, early, mid stage, and it's all free to the community, to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, hey, she does that too. And we're going to get into a couple of businesses before we finish also. But So that was what we were there for. I knew we were there for something big, and I knew it was something to, go in your wallet. One of those events and everything, but it was dope. So when I walked in, you told me what it was, and I was just like, okay, I can get away with this. You know what I mean? So when I walked in, I wasn't there, but maybe 3 seconds and knew I wasn't dressed right. I knew I wasn't dressed right. What I had on was nice, expensive, but I knew I wasn't dressed right. And but I didn't have anything. So that was just like a last minute thing just to go. And when I walked in, they had free bars like out in the front.
Yes.
And I already knew I wasn't dressed right. So I was already uncomfortable. So I stopped by the first bar. And the first bar was my homegirl. And she had done like 8 years in prison before. You know
I know
what I
who
mean?
you talking about.
Yeah, came out of prison. She was a big time dope dealer. But I knew her when she was a big time dope dealer and everything like that. Like her.
She cool people.
She is super hellified dope. Came out of jail on a freaking mission and like really did a thing for her and her son. Her son actually bought 2 cars for me, and they wasn't no cheap cars. I think one was like a Camaro and the other one was like a Dodge Charger or something like that. But both of them was real fly, and so she relaxed me. So then when I went in, I tell you what, it was amazing to me because I had never been in a room with these people. And not these people, they're weird or nothing, but it's just not my element. You know what I mean? So I saw Lisa Givens.
Yes,
and
that's who I
her
work
name.
for.
That's who you work for. Okay.
Yes.
All right. She's super dope. I saw him a Jeep. I saw his grandson a Jeep. He came in and paid for it. What's his name? Penner? Joe Penner. Joe Penner was there, you know what I mean? And when I sold him a car, when I sold his grandson a car, my fault, I messed the mic up. When I sold his grandson a car, I was with his grandson all day. He came in and just stroked the check. All right, thank you, bye. All right, hey guys, all right guys, gone. Like just $40,000. Like it wasn't nothing cash. So, hey, so kids, hey, become the weatherman if you become the weatherman of these news people, because I didn't know news people, weathermen, sportscasters. I didn't even know they made that kind of money. Like they really making money in this town.
Yeah, and we had Judy Gaston
Judy
there.
Judy Gaston. And I only time I ever see her is around Don Staley and all them. So I was just like, I think Rick Henry was there for a second or something,
Yeah.
I believe.
Dr. Macy.
Right. I seen all these people. So I was like, I'm definitely in the wrong place.
You was in the right place.
Definitely dressed wrong, but that's what I was getting to. You told me I was in the right place at the right time. And after that, the very next day, I went and spent like $2,000 in clothes.
Okay.
Straight up. So the next time that you invite me to something,
It's in November.
okay, it
I'll
was
be
like
sending the
over
invitation.
time, but like I put some stuff on layaway, but by the end of the day, I've got $2,000 worth of clothes so that I can go to some events like that. That really opened my eyes up. You know what I mean, to what the people that I need to be reaching. Not the people I need to be reaching, but the people I need to be in contact with so that I can reach the people that I want to reach.
Yeah.
And that's not a question. That was just a thank you. You know what I mean? So I just want to say thank you for opening my eyes like that. And then we definitely got to get in these rooms. You know what I'm saying? We can't, the day's over for us to just be sitting back saying like, I don't belong there. I don't feel good there. That's out my element. That's not for me. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us make too much money to not be in those rooms, you know what I mean? Or feel like, that we gotta, be at some other stuff and everything. And I want to thank you for opening my eyes to that. And I'm glad you got to explain what you were there for. And so the next event is in November?
Yes, it's in November. Don't have the exact date just yet, but we will be back at the same location down in the Vista at the Carolina.
I have a check this time.
Okay. I'll make sure I send that paperwork over.
Yeah, last year I was like, I don't know about it. What the hell? What am I?
No small amount is no,
But hey, but they got some prime rib up here. So I was like, some free drinks and stuff. So I was like, hey, I'll be here for at least an hour. But yeah, man, thank you for that, and definitely gonna participate in that, and that's what we just gotta do as brothers and sisters and stuff like that. Is just kind of open our eyes, and not just black people, white people too, because a lot of white people, I know a lot of white people that don't feel like they belong in buildings like mechanics and car salesmen and stuff that don't feel like they belong in buildings like that either. And I mean that really was dope. Even though I felt a little uncomfortable, but after we talked, I really felt better. So man, explain to us the 360 photo booth rental service and all type of events. Explain that to us.
Yeah, so me and my fiance, we just recently started our 360 booth and 360 and photo booth business, K&L Entertainment.
Okay.
We provide services to different corporate events, birthday parties, retirement parties, kids' birthday parties, graduation parties, family cookouts, family reunions, you name it, we're there. And with the 360 booth, you get a background, you get the music playing for the little frame and stuff. So you get a lot with it. Our services start at $100 an hour,
Okay.
2 hour minimum
All right.
for our 360 booth, and it's $75 an hour for our selfie booth, and it's $50 each additional hour after that.
Right, and if you've never been on the 360 thing or whatever, man, that is a good time. I went to a shoe event not too long ago, and that was my first time. One of my better friends in Florence, South Carolina, BB, he also has a 360 booth. But I've never been to one of his events, but he was just telling me that that it was fun time. So I participated in one about a month or so ago, and I really had a good time and would love to do it again. That is a fun time.
Yeah, and one of the things with K&L Entertainment, we like to stand out amongst others. So we want your experience to be an unforgettable experience, and that's why we do our custom backgrounds and everything to go along with the decor and
Right.
stuff. So we actually have 2 events coming up this weekend, one Saturday and one Sunday. So we've been busy,
Okay.
but we still have room on the calendar. So look
All
up
right.
K&L Entertainment on Facebook
Been busy?
or knlentertainment.com.
Okay. We might have to try to do something for back to school or something. We got to figure something out for back to school. And I know me and you were talking about maybe, I was talking about doing like a teen summit
Yeah, I've
and
been
everything.
waiting.
And you walked me through all that kind of stuff and everything like that. So you're like a person that I can call when I need some advice on organizing and everything like that. But one thing you also do is you do life counseling, right?
Yes, life coaching. I am a
Okay.
life coach, certified life coach. I specialize in domestic violence, relationship. Yeah, a couple of other different things.
So if you don't know, I don't know if the audience knows, but Lexington County, and that's the county you live in, right?
Yes.
Was in the past 10 years have been number one in domestic violence for 9 years out of 10 years. So most of my clients that I bill out have been charged with domestic violence and things like that, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. You know what I mean? One being more serious, but domestic violence is serious no matter what the count is, because it means somebody was in a fight or whatever. You know what I mean? So if you're counseling somebody that's been a victim of domestic violence, what is your advice to them? Because a lot of times these people are married. Do you kind of like tell them, like, you know what I mean, that it's time to walk away from the marriage, or is there an avenue that you work towards to make a home better or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, I will touch on one first about what you were saying about Lexington County. I actually gave the first domestic violence rally in Casey.
Okay.
Just last October.
I didn't know that.
And I will be continuing that again this year. But as far as it goes, when it comes down to someone needing counseling for domestic violence, I never tell them to leave because people have to leave at their own accord.
Right.
Everybody has to get to their enough point. I will tell them I would like for you to be safe. And at the same time, I let them I work on helping them change their mindset, reflecting back on themselves. Because if you love you and you set those boundaries, that's stuff that you would not allow.
Right.
So I never tell them to leave. I would never tell somebody to go get a divorce, leave that. No, let's talk about you. What can I help you with at the end of the day? Let's work on you.
Okay.
Because once they get strong and they get to that point, they'll leave. They'll leave, or either that person is going to go get help and change. But as someone in that position, we have to know that we can't make that person change.
Right.
And I say that coming from experience of being in that situation myself.
Okay.
Plenty of times I know I needed to leave, but also I did not know how to leave. Because of being scared. So coming up with that safety plan and, different ways and talking with someone, because for years I never told my family what I was going through. They had no idea what I was going through. And that event that I put on last October, a lot of my family was there. My family is one of my biggest support system.
Right.
I actually told the story of what happened to me when my ex-husband killed me. And they could not believe what they were hearing.
You
My
said
mom
your
was in
ex-husband
tears.
did what now?
He killed me,
He
and
killed
I
you.
came back.
Oh man, that's deep. Wow. You want to elaborate?
Yes, I'll elaborate. So when I say my ex-husband killed me and I came back, I was in the military. I was helping one of my friends. Had just took her earlier that day for chemo treatment. We got home. One of my other military friends, she graduated from school, top of the class. We went out. That's when Elements was right over here on the hill. It was on a Wednesday. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. Got back home, him and I arguing and stuff because he knew I was going out. But you took my car and had somebody riding around in it that shouldn't have been riding around in it, i.e. his aunt, who did not care for me. So don't have her riding around in my stuff. So that's where the argument started. As we were arguing, I stopped arguing with him. He followed me in the closet. And he started pushing me around in the closet. My friend, she was telling us, hey, y'all need to stop, because my youngest son at the time was upstairs asleep. Saying, y'all need to stop and stuff. He didn't. So as she was telling him and trying to push him out of the closet from where I was at, he then grabbed me and he started choking me.
Wow.
And as he started choking me, I stopped breathing. I passed out. My body hit the floor. During that moment, you know how you see on the cartoons where the body float above, their spirit floats above their body. That's what I did. I floated above my body. I could see him slapping me in my face, telling me to wake up. I could hear my best friend saying, you killed my best friend. You killed my best friend. I saw a light. I started going towards that light. As I got closer to the light, I start hearing somebody say, go back, it's not your time. But I kept going closer, and they say, go back, it's not your time. And I end up going back, and when I came back through, I woke up. I was gasping for air, and everything. And all I could do was just cry.
Right.
And the crazy part about that, I still ain't leave that man.
So it's tough. Leaving is tough.
Leaving is tough.
Right. And we got some fireworks in the background. So apologize about that. But it's the 4th of July. They're gonna pop it from now to next week.
But yeah, I still didn't leave that man. It took a whole nother incident
A domestic violence?
of domestic violence
Wow.
to happen real bad. Before I finally got the strength and I had a plan to leave. He wiped my bank account clean right beforehand. But because I got the right support, when I did make my mind up, hey, I need to get out of this, not just for myself, but for my child.
Right.
I need to get out of this situation. I had a support system in El Paso, Texas. My chain of command was very supportive.
Right.
Of me, and I had a victim advocate who taught me the different things, gave me I stayed in a safe house for 2 months.
Wow.
That was the extent of, I knew, because he went to jail that night, I knew he was gonna come back and kill me. And I had already told them that. Once they served him the divorce paperwork, I told them he's gonna try to kill me. And that's exactly, that was his motive to do it.
Right. And I'm sorry you went through that.
But it makes me who I am today.
That's right. Is that the toughest thing when you're doing life coaching? I know sometimes, I'm not a life coach, but I do a lot of counseling through a lot of these guys trying to keep them out of prison. Oh my God. I turned this thing off. I'm sorry. Gotta cut that. But yeah, so is that the toughest thing too? Because the toughest thing for me to talk about, with people, is like a lot of my clients, they have been shot. You know what I mean? That's a lot of trauma for me, because that's happened to me. And so is talking, when you're doing your life coaching, is talking about domestic violence with people. Is that the toughest thing, or is there any other subject that really touches you, makes it hard for you to do your job, or makes you more motivated to do your job?
Well, me going through what I've been through actually make me more motivated to be a life coach. However, I tell everybody, you can't coach everybody.
Right.
You have to really pray about that thing, because everybody is not a fit for you, and you're not a fit for everyone.
Right, okay.
And during the time of giving someone counseling and coaching someone, if you're not in a good space and you're being triggered by what they're going through, then you need to take that time and be honest with that person you're coaching and say, hey, I need to step back. Take that moment and step back. Don't allow yourself to continue to go through, because during that time, you're not helping that person.
Right.
Because being a life coach, you have to set yourself aside, in order to hear that person clearly. If you're sitting here, and that's where it comes into play of being the different type of listener. If you're sitting there being that listener, that you listening to them, but you thinking about what you've been through,
Right.
then you're really not helping them.
Right. Whew, now that was deep. That was a tough story there. Okay, so we're gonna lighten it up, and we're gonna finish this conversation off with some fun questions.
Okay.
How about that?
Fun.
Some questions like this, and then we're gonna take a question from an audience member. If anybody in the audience want to ask Miss Felicia a question. All right. Here we go. Let's see where I want to start out. So we're gonna start out with some easy ones first.
Oh, we got easy
Easy
and hard?
ones, yeah. We
Ooh.
got some easy ones and a couple hard ones. Now these questions you can't plead the fifth to now.
Are you sure?
You can't plead the fifth to these
Okay.
questions. Some of them a little spicy. So anyway, let me ask you before I get to these questions right here. So you're getting married,
I
and
am.
you've been married before.
I have 2 times already. I guess the third time is the charm.
What the hell you gonna do different this time?
It's a different person. I can't hold him accountable for what the other one's done.
That's what I'm talking about. So this is the one.
At least I feel deep down in my heart it is.
All right now.
I pray about it.
All right now, y'all look good together.
Thank
Y'all
you.
going all around the world and everything like that.
He treats me
Got
good.
me having to buy some trips and shit. I ain't got time for y'all people on Facebook spending all this money. Well, I'm trying to say something.
We save too. We plan accordingly.
Yeah, I got you.
You got to plan. You got to do. Look, plan ahead.
So that'll be my first question. With your boo, would you rather go on a cruise or do y'all want to take a flight somewhere?
Oh, that's a hard one. A cruise.
Like a cruise is a reason why you chose a cruise?
So one of the things that I always tell people, with a cruise, you can go on a 3-4 day. Well, you can go on a 5-6 day cruise. Mm-hmm. You'll have a place to stay.
Right.
You have free food, and you can go to different countries for $600 and something.
Yeah, they're cheaper.
When that flight is gonna cost you $600 and something, the hotel is gonna cost you another $12.
That's true.
And then if you eat, you might as well kick out another $12
So
for the
you
both
don't mind
of you.
eating Bob's Burgers all week?
Oh no! Look, give me my burger. Look, I be trying to get my big back on. I love food.
Oh, okay. Texas or South Carolina?
Texas.
Texas. Oh, no, okay. I know you South Carolina born now. Why?
Because
everything big in Texas.
Everything big in Texas. The houses bigger. Also, with me being a military veteran,
Right.
they have better services in Texas.
Gotcha. All right, so you like everything. Every time I see y'all classy and all that kind of stuff, but I know you got that. You got your little gangster in you too now. So Walmart or Target?
Walmart.
Walmart, okay. So I thought all these women moved over to Target.
They expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I'm a baller on a budget.
I heard that. All right. Let's see. I know you like to go out and about, so I was going to ask. I worded this question wrong, but yard sale or thrift store?
Oh. Give me a thrift store.
Give you a thrift store. I like a good
Ooh,
thrift store.
I love me a thrift store.
Yeah, I love me a good. Well, but I like the ones that like open up like 7 o'clock in the morning.
So, and this is the difference because a lot of people say thrift store, and it's the difference between a thrift store and a consignment shop.
Right.
But
Tell us
give
what
me
the difference
a
is.
good. So a consignment shop, they have people that come in, and the stuff is more expensive in the consignment shops. The thrift stores, you can get something for $3, 95 cents. You know, how much ever you can pack in this bag for $5.
Right.
That's the thrift store I like.
Okay. Yeah, I like a thrift store. I like a yard sale, but I like a thrift store.
You got to be careful. People got bed bugs now.
Yeah. I thought bed bugs was dead. Oh man, I'm scared now.
Bed bugs.
All right.
Everything.
You like R&B? So now that I know you said Avant earlier, but I had Joe or R. Kelly.
He's stumping me with this one. Joe.
Joe. I knew you was gonna choose Joe. Brandy or Monica?
Monica.
Monica. Okay. All right. Lauryn Hill by herself or the Fugees?
So hold on. Are we talking Lauryn Hill before she got with
Lauryn Hill, Miseducation, Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill?
Lauryn Hill. Now that album, Miseducation, Lauryn Hill, just got named by Rolling Stone, which is probably the most credible magazine of music critics, as the #1 album ever made. Rap, R&B, #1 album ever made. Do you agree with that or not agree with that, or it's just something that you wouldn't argue because it's so good?
I agree. I agree. Like, That was a very good album. That was
Right.
before she was going through what she had
What
went
she
through.
went through, okay. And she, it hadn't came out yet, but it is rumored that she was in a real bad domestic violent relationship.
I believe it.
You believe it? Them Jamaican dudes kind of crazy, ain't it?
They are. I got one.
You got one. Oh, your man is Jamaican. Okay, all right, cool.
But he's sweet.
He's sweet. Okay, I got Roof Chris, or let's just not even say Roof Chris. Let's say 5-star restaurant or Ruby Tuesdays.
Now, see, if you would have said Roof Chris or Halls, I would have said Halls. Roof Chris is
I
overrated.
like Halls better than and when I say Roof Chris, I'm more saying 5-star restaurant or just your neighborhood restaurant and bar.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm a chicken wing connoisseur.
Yeah.
I love me some chicken wings. So take me someplace where I can eat me some chicken wings. I don't mind.
You ain't getting no chicken wings at the 5-star restaurant.
Right.
You might get a duck wing or something like that. But I don't
Now,
know.
at a 5-star, I want my salmon, a nice steak, but I love
Gotcha.
salmon.
All right. What is your favorite dish? What is your favorite food? Is like Italian, Jamaican,
I love me some Caribbean food.
Caribbean? Okay. But you've been in Texas a while now. Barbecue? Barbecue don't make it?
Well, see, I don't eat pork, so
I mean, you get like chicken,
it ain't the same.
steak, brisket.
It ain't the same.
It ain't the same. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, this is a raunchy question, but it got to be you're a female. You're a beautiful female. Making love or beat it up? Gotta know. I've been nice. I've been nice the whole episode now. I had to
I
ask
see. Lord, I can't show this to him. I answer this question.
you.
Yeah.
We'll cut it.
It's all depending on the mood. What
Okay.
mood we in?
We ain't gonna answer that one. Hood nigga or corporate nigga?
A mixture.
A mixture. Gotta have a mix. Okay.
I have to have somebody who can adapt, because especially with the field and stuff I'm in. So even though I ride motorcycles, I need that toughness. I need somebody who gonna be able to protect me. Not saying that a corporate person cannot, but I need somebody who can adapt.
Okay. Let's do this one. Educational system or homeschooling?
Educational system.
Educational system. And why?
Because I feel like when you homeschool, a lot of kids, they miss that social skill.
Social skills.
And it's very important for kids to have social skill. It's nothing wrong with homeschooling, but when it comes to a certain point, when it's time for them to go into middle school,
Right.
and in order for them to learn certain life skills, they need to be, I feel like they need to be in the educational system, because they can interact with different
Right.
peers.
Okay. T.I. or Pastor Troy?
Oh. T.I.
T.I.P. Gotcha. 2 questions. Last one. So, I actually only got one more question, and that was Indy Irie or Jill Scott?
Indy Irie.
Indy Irie. What's your favorite Indy Irie song? It's a lot of them.
It's a lot of them. Like, I have literally a playlist.
She didn't have the run that Jill Scott had, so I'm surprised you took Indy Irie. I mean, she had for what she put out was really good quality music, and it's better. And I like some of her songs better than Jill Scott, but Jill Scott was more longevity. So yeah.
Jill do.
Right.
Jill songs can get a little raunchy, but
Right.
I like that side.
What was your favorite show you ever been to?
My favorite show. Okay. My
On them bikes. It's a dirt bike.
Okay. My favorite show was with Lil Wayne, BG, Master P, and all them when they came to
Essence?
South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
That was actually my first concert.
Wow.
Juvenile, and I want to say that was back in 2003, somewhere
Damn.
up in there.
BG, yeah, he went in prison. Shit. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll
that's
never
dope.
forget that like it was at the Colonial Life Arena.
Wow. Oh, they were in the Colonial?
Yeah, it was at Colonial.
Wow. What was it before Colonial, though? Coliseum? Carolina Coliseum. Okay. Yeah, my favorite concert was, saw it twice. The only concert I went, no. Actually, I saw Nas and Mary J twice when they was on tour together. But my favorite concert was first time I saw it was in Birmingham. We were coming back from the Essence Festival, and we saw Lil Wayne. It was the Carter 3. It may have been a Carter 2 or Carter 3. I think it was a Carter 3. Yeah, because it had Mrs. Officer or whatever was a hot song then. So yeah, it was Carter 3 tour, and it was him, T.I., Lil Wayne, T.I., 2 Chainz, and Future. And this was Future was just voila, magic. He wasn't the Future,
That he is now.
Yeah, he Future now probably headline that concert, but we saw them in Birmingham, and me and my friend Lexus, and she took me out for my birthday. But me and her had gotten a big argument in the hood in Birmingham. We went to like get her hair done, and she bless her heart. She's a sweetheart, but boy, back in the day, she was a diva. I mean, like she knew one of her friends knew the one was supposed to have been the best hairstylist in Birmingham, and we went there. And man, she had us dead in the middle of the trenches of Birmingham. Now this was after we done went early in the day. We went to the Civil Rights Museum and we done cried together, hugged together. We saw the girls from Birmingham that died in the church. Man, we been bawling, crying, hugging each other, hugging other people, hugging white folk. You know what I mean? Because it was like white people there was all emotional. Also, because they felt so bad, you know what I mean? Because that Birmingham Museum is like a real civil rights museum. Like, from the time you walk in there, as soon as you walk in the door, it's a white water fountain and a black water fountain. You know what I mean? Like, it hit you like you watch a tape. It's so emotional that even before you even walk in the door, they make you watch like a 5-minute video. And then the video is like, this is what you're going to see. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be... Man, so it's like real deep. So, man, we went on the bus with Rosa Parks sitting in the front, the Freedom Riders blown up bus, and then they have like the music in the background and all that kind of stuff.
That do something with your mental.
Man, it messes with you. So we had that kind of day, and then that afternoon we was in the hood. We was in the hood trying to find weed and letting Lexus get her hair done, and we just blew up on each other so bad. Like, I was like, man, what the hell you got me here? Because I'm older than them. So I'm like, what the hell you got me up in this shit for? You know what I'm saying? I don't come to no shit like this, and we out of town, you know what I mean? So we would be mad at each other. And we went to the concert, and we was back having a good time, and it was such a good show that we saw it again in Charlotte.
Well, I will admit, my next best show that I went to was R. Kelly when he came back in the day when he came here. And
I saw him here too. Might have been the same one.
The one when the Tigers and everything was on stage, and
I don't know about the Tigers, but it was Mother's Day.
when it was like "Roll Your Body Like a Snake, Ma." When he had that song came out.
I went there on Mother's Day.
I can't remember where it was. It was because I flew from Texas back over here.
Okay.
To go.
Wow. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. I was gonna ask if anybody in the audience had a question, but our audience members, he dipped outside. He left. So I really appreciate you being the first episode of the Sharif Show.
I thank you for inviting me.
Yeah,
you have to invite me back again.
Yeah, anytime you got something, brewing, or if you just want to stop in, you can. You're always welcome. But if you got something brewing, please come talk about it.
I will. I will.
Right.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you, and thank y'all for joining us. This was the first episode of the Sharif Show where we talk to everybody that's doing something in the community, doing something positive. We talked to some people that aren't so positive also. We're going to have a very a big, extensive amount of people that can talk about everything and everything. That's what we're trying to reach. People in the community that can enlighten somebody, whether it's good or bad, but you know what I mean, something that you can learn from, something that we can school, something that we can educate, and something that we can motivate the people of our community. Shout out to Casey, South Carolina. Shout out to Casey, South Carolina. Man, we got a real education on that, and man, we're gonna try to be more transparent and more welcoming over on this side of the bridge and everything like that. And we will hope that y'all don't look at us the wrong way either. Oh, hey, we did have Pat came back. Did you have any questions, anything like that?
In fact, I did have a question. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
OG people, he's my brother. You know what I'm saying? I would like to ask you, what do you attest to your strength in your walk, your walk, or words from your OG, so to speak?
Meaning as in from my past and stuff like that?
Say like what your experience is giving you your strength, or more so the words from your elders. There you go.
My experiences. And I say that because I always tell people my past do not define who I am. They make me strong every day. I would never, one of the questions that we ask at work, is there anything in your past that you would change, that you wish would never happen? And I say I wish everything would have happened, because that's what made me, who I am today. What not to do, what not to accept, what to accept, and what I want, even as far as in my relationship and stuff go. So, yeah.
Word. Well, that's a wrap. And we appreciate you again. Hope you enjoyed yourself. We enjoyed you.
Bluetooth connected successfully.
That's crazy. That came on, but that's it. Yeah.
Oh.
No, that was.